4.7b, Application Problems, Percent to Proportion. When setting up a problem that requires translation from percent to proportion, look for keywords that give context clues. Also, remember from before that when setting up these problems, we set up the proportion part over the whole equals the percentage over 100. Now it doesn't matter which one of these is missing, so long as we have the other three parts, and then we can find it by using algebra. So let's go through the first example. Example 1. In a 2006 Honda Accord, the risk of airbag failure is 2.6%. Given that 355,603 Accords were sold in the US in 2006, how many cars are expected to experience airbag failure? And in our answer, we should round to the nearest whole car. So, we're given a percentage. So we're given the percent. Let's go ahead and write our proportion we're trying to set up. Part over whole equals percent over 100. So let's mark our givens. So we're given a percentage. So we have that. We always have 100. We know what that is. We're given the total number of Accords sold in the US. So that's the whole number of Accords that were sold. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the part. That's the only thing that's missing. So the part is the number of cars expected to experience airbag failure, or the part of this whole amount of Accords sold. So setting up our proportion, we have X, our unknown, as our part, over the whole, 355,603. And we set that equal to 2.6% over 100. So in setting up this proportion, we can first multiply both sides by 355,603. We can go ahead and do that. What this will do is this will cancel the denominator under the x, getting x by itself, but making this a lot more complicated on the right-hand side. So, after we do some math, we end up getting that this equals 924,567.8. And this is all over 100. And when we divide by 100, all we have to do is move the decimal place over by 2. So we end up getting 9,245.678. Our problem advises us to round to the nearest whole car. So we round up to 9,246 Accords. Should experience airbag failure in 2006. So let's go through another example. Example 2. Last year, 26% of all jobs in my shop were brake-related repairs. If I saw 375 cars for brake problems last year, how many cars did I see in total? Round to the nearest whole car. So let's write out our formula again. We are looking for part over the whole equals the percentage over 100. So let's go through the problem and look for what we have. So we're given a percent, 26%. We always have 100. And we're given the part. We can tell this because it's asking for the total. So it's asking for the whole. So we don't know this, but we know the part because it gives us 375 cars for brake problems. So now let's set up our proportion. 375 all over the unknown, x, equals 26 over 100. So now what we do is we multiply top and bottom, we multiply both sides by x. This cancels the x on the left-hand side and gets it out of the denominator. So we end up with 375 equals 26 times x over 100. We can now multiply both sides by 100 and cancel this denominator. So this becomes 375, 0, and 26x. Now, if we end up dividing, both sides by 26, these 26's cancel, and we end up with an answer of 1,442 cars. So that means I saw this many cars last year in total.